See who we get. Shalom, y'all. See if we can get anybody on the YouTubes. We're live for the first time. I don't know if Steve is going to join us. He might. See if we can get anybody on. See if we can get any subscribers on.
8 o'clock.
Who do we got? We got anybody? Well, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know. We don't have nobody watching yet. I don't even know how to share this. Dun, 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 dun. Share on Facebook. Hey. Stop. Good gravy, dachshunds. Good gravy, dachshunds.
Still live?
Yeah, still live.
Oh.
But we don't have nobody yet.
That's all right. Good evening. How is everybody? It's what, 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening?
Yeah.
For everybody that has young kids, probably got the kids put to bed. And, how's everybody this evening?
Yeah. Wait to see if anybody jumps on.
If not, that's all right. So, what's been happening with everybody lately? Anything interesting?
I don't know if you can see did you get a notification?
I turned them all off.
Or are you subscribed to us?
I don't have it on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not the tech guy. I go get a new phone and have it set up so I don't have to do that stuff, because if anybody can ruin technology, I can. That's for sure. Sorry about the dogs earlier. I was stepping back inside and...
Well, nobody was on. So doesn't matter. You're halfway out of the picture.
Oh.
We'll see. See, there's...
That's right. So what do we talk about?
Well, we don't talk about nothing yet. There's nobody on.
Yeah, but could you post this video and people can see it later?
I have no idea.
Oh. Aren't we on for an interesting feat? We can just sit here and talk to one another for a while, which is okay.
Yeah, we'll see who pops on. See if anybody will come on.
Yeah.
posted it on Facebook.
Oh,
We'll see what happens.
Oh, there's somebody on.
Oh, we got somebody on. Say hello.
We got somebody
It's
watching.
probably my brother.
That's okay.
Tactically Tore. What's up?
What's up, Tato?
Yeah. Woohoo. How's it been going? We just decided to set up a live here and see how it goes, and this is strange, not just talking to a random video, kind of like waiting for somebody to like text back or
Pop on.
yeah, it's strange for sure.
Yeah. So
We got 2 people going now.
Yeah.
We're getting it going. One of them's gonna end up being my brother.
that's right.
I just sent him a text, so I guarantee you. Hey, there you go. Where are you guys at? Are you guys in the same? Oh, you're fighting signal.
Oh.
Are you guys together? Are you just trying to give us viewers? That's awesome. I'm really surprised my brother's not the first. He's always the first. So we actually set up an email today for anybody who wants to get in contact with us and talk to us with their drug addictions or abuse. And so if anybody wants to pass that along, admin at cleaning and prepping for tomorrow. Heath is laying bed. That's awesome. That's cool. So admin at breakthechain.com. Yeah, so we'll see where that takes us. Tuesday we're going to Thanksgiving dinner for a they're not a church or
It's a ministry.
Yeah, they're a ministry.
Mhm.
It's kind of like Grindstone, where they're not like a physical, like they just help people. But they have a building set up, and so they're doing a Thanksgiving dinner, and so we're gonna go and check that out because they deal with drug addicts and people like that. So
It's been put on our hearts a lot lately to help some people, and we have to do what we can. We support other ministries, and Father's just been putting it on us really heavy.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate that we have some people who we recently,
who the Father gave us.
he asked the Father for like-minded people. He puts them in your path, and easier said than done. He's like, here you go. This is what you asked for.
And when we say like-minded people, it's on their heart to do the same thing we're doing.
Yeah.
But we all have different aspects of where we see this going.
Similar direction, but
similar direction, but where they they're gonna have their own type of jobs or something somehow.
Yes.
And we're just starting on this.
Yes. So we all have our, I guess we've all got our strengths and our weaknesses, but we all have a similar goal in mind, is to help people do the Father's work.
So that's the admin at breakthechain.com is the email. And then I was working on a website for breakthechain.com, and yeah, I emailed Lucia to see if she can make us a logo. So we'll see how that goes.
That's all right.
Yeah.
How's our website? No, we're working on the website.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, yep. So, yeah. So, anyway, we figured we just try and go live and kind of see where it goes from here and what happens. Probably pretty boring for right now.
Yeah. But
we're not outside at a fire. That's for dang sure. That ain't happen.
We can go outside and freeze. I'll go put my warm clothes on.
And it's warmer today than it was.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No. I think it's supposed to be 50 on Tuesday, and that's going to be the warmest.
I'll take 50.
Yeah, I'm sure you're warmer than us. I am sure you are warmer than us.
Yep.
keep doing it. Yep.
Yep, you bet. You bet.
Well, we watched The Chosen in movie theaters last night. So the first 2 episodes of The Chosen season 3.
Yeah,
that
was good.
And it's just, and in one of the scenes, Yeshua, obviously from, the Bible and the scriptures, he sends out his disciples with no money, no clothing, no food.
Yep.
And they said, why? And he said, because you have to go
in
faith and you have to do it. And so if they could do it with nothing, then so can we. So we just have to start where we have to start, and we don't need any fancy things to get going to help people. And so we have to just do it in faith. And
because we all know somebody that in person, I'm pretty sure, that needs some kind of help, some kind of guidance. So
whether it be drug, alcohol,
anything,
the narcotics addictions, even abuse, physically, verbally,
mentally,
it's all, just go and do. I mean, that's what they were told to do. And and so that kind of, watching that episode was like, if that's what they had to do back then, I mean, we have a lot more now than what they did.
For sure.
And so it's,
And like, we've both got backgrounds. Like, I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. We can always help people. We've been through addiction and conquered it.
Yeah.
And found our way back to the Father.
Praise Yah, he literally just took my addiction away, so I didn't have to go through rehab and all that stuff, but that's not everybody.
No.
That's not everybody. But he literally took my addiction away, because I have never gone back to.
No.
Yeah. We got 3 people watching now. Say hi. I don't know who's watching.
And
we've got Heath and Lauren. But I don't know who else we got watching. But so that's what... So if you know anybody who, I mean, it doesn't have to necessarily be in our state. I mean, we can talk to people, hopefully, on
absolutely
on the phones and kind of maybe guide them that way.
Friends, family, anybody.
And I wasn't even. I've always believed in God and always talked to him, and but never completely committed myself to him, and so he's always been there. And then actually June 11th we got baptized of this year, and that's the same day we became shepherds. We got our 3 sheep that day too, so it's
baptized in the Ruach HaKodesh. The Holy Spirit.
It was really cool that the same day that we got baptized was the same day that we got the sheep. So, and it wasn't 100% planned out that way.
No.
It was
something.
It was we got the sheep, and we were going to this ministry. Well, we are going to this ministry every Shabbat, but haven't gone the last couple of weekends because we've had things to do, and then it's been so cold, and they're about 45 minutes away, so we just do our stuff here. But anyway, so we went. They had planned on doing our baptism. They just needed to get a spot on their property for it and get that set up to do it. And it just happened to be the same day. And it was on Shabbat when we got the sheep. But so we got the sheep on Shabbat and on June 11th, and then got them settled and was here for a few hours with them. And then we went and got baptized. So it was a pretty cool day.
Yeah.
So we'll always remember when we got the sheep.
Yep.
June 11th, 2022.
Yes.
Katatans. Went with the Katatans. Yep. Just like Bear.
Yep. And there's a lot of people around here that have Katatans, and they're a hair sheep. You don't have to shear them, which is a big thing. And there's people that have Dorpers and other kinds of sheep, not big. We're not professional animal farmers, whatever you could say. We're just starting out. So, I mean, we've had several flocks of chickens and stuff. Just kind of learning as we go. And
See, I didn't hear about those, Lauren,
Barbados.
until you started talking about them. But
Yeah.
but they've got horns, don't they? I didn't want sheep with horns.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do or not, but
I'm not sure.
yeah. See, and I haven't looked too much into the Barbados sheep, but
Yeah.
but I've seen. Well, we were watching that one video a couple weeks ago where that Katahdin ram, he actually had horns, which was
The horns have been burned up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Probably kind of like with the Katahdins, because we actually were watching a video.
Yeah. And I know Abraham's what? Probably, I'm going to just guesstimate, he's probably about 180 pounds now. He's about
a big boy.
7 months old. He's a big boy. And if you're not paying attention in there,
I had to get Steve a shepherd's hook.
yeah. It
And my
comes in
trick-
handy just to keep, he doesn't mind Jen at all. I go in there, and if, you know.
He doesn't mind me as long as he's eating his grain.
Yeah. If I turn my back, you know, what it might be ML, might be the testosterone or whatever he smells on me. He wants to come headbutt my knee or whatever. But
Thanks, Michael. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, we
Awesome.
just decided to go live and see how it went. So
yep. Thanks, Michael.
yeah.
But,
Shabbat shalom. Have a blessed week. But yeah, so we have Abraham, Genesis, and Biscuit.
Mhm.
And the only reason why her name is Biscuit is because our middle daughter. So our kids are older. They're all adults. We've got 23, 21,
20.
and 20. And so our middle daughter, she came over to come see the sheep the second day we had them,
Yep.
the next day. And she said, the Biscuit, she said, that one looks like a biscuit. And we was like, why, how does she look like a biscuit? She says, I don't know. And the name just stuck. So we've got Abraham, Genesis, and Biscuit. And then Genesis came because my brother, with us following the Torah and everything, and he's not even, he's not a believer. He's not.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. Who
Yep.
knows?
If you're listening or
I
ever
don't
watch
know.
this,
But he's very supportive of what everybody does. So it's nothing like doesn't, you know, no pushing, nothing on anybody, which is awesome. But but anyway, so he says, well, Genesis is the first book in the Bible, and he knows some scripture.
Mhm.
So he says, and in the beginning, he said, so she needs to be Genesis, and she's the first line. All right. Good luck with that. Dang technology. But so he's like, well, why not name her Genesis? And I was like, well, that's a really good idea, because like she's part of our first line in our flock that we're going to be building. So Genesis. And then of course Abraham, we had already decided that Abraham was going to be Abraham because he's the first,
the father of the flock.
Yeah, he's going to be the father of the flock. So we came with Abraham, and then of course, you know, then the nickname Abraham comes up, which is kind of cool and in its own. So yeah, so we've got those three, and we'll see if Yah finds favor in us and blesses us with any lambs this spring or whenever he does it. I don't know. We're not separating him as of this moment. We're keeping it all natural. So and I think pretty much anybody with a smaller flock usually does anyways.
It depends. I mean, some do, some don't. I mean, if you have one ram and just a few ewes, then depending on your setup and your situation, if you have the space and whatnot, it's, you know, it's kind of.
And we might have to, when the lambs
are born, we might have to put him in a separate pen, and he might be a little more ornery just because that's how rams are. But
I mean, he is a pretty gentle.
Yeah, he is.
Ram for the most part, I think.
Yeah, he does.
And the biggest thing too that we learned from reading something or watching. So I don't even remember. We don't pet his head.
Yeah, no, you can scratch him on his neck.
Scratch him on his neck and anywhere else on his body.
If you start petting his head, that's when he wants to put his head down and headbutt you, and that's when he becomes aggressive and things. But.
So we haven't pet him on his head since first or second day. Well, probably within the first week.
Yeah.
Because we were scratching his head and petting him on his head, and he was 4 months old when we got him, and then we stopped that within the first week, and I haven't done it since. So
if you're back there and trying to scratch him or pet the girls or whatever, he'll come up and try and rub his head on your hand. You just got to pull your hand back.
You keep scooting yourself out of the thing.
Sorry.
But yeah, so that's those guys, and then our chickens. Yeah, we'll see what happens for this year. Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with this ministry, if you will, if you want to call it. Not sure, but see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Anybody got any questions? I don't know if Heat's back or not. We got 4 watching again.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah, so with Steve, so we kept saying, one of these days we're going to have sheep. One of these days we're going to have sheep. And all honesty, I looked at Steve in February?
Yep.
I looked at Steve in February.
And said, are we getting
sheep? And I said,
are
we getting sheep or not? And he looked at me and I said, well, we always keep saying Sunday.
Yep.
I said, so are we going to do it or not? And if we're going to do it, I need to text the sheep farmer now so that we can reserve our lambs and make sure that she would have, 2 ewes and a ram for us when the time came.
Yes.
And Steve looked at me and he's like, all right, I guess in the next month when the weather starts getting nice, we're going to start getting that barn ready for the sheep. And so we did. But I was just like, yeah, are we going to, it's kind of, it goes back to, just do it.
Let your yes be yes. Let your no be no.
Yeah. That's really what it, and they're not that, they're not hard at all to take care of, and their feed. So, and I don't, there's so many videos out there that it's, for food wise of what you can do with sheep. And so we kind of went off by what the farmer was giving the lambs, and the farmer was given the lambs, and they give them all the sheep, but they give them 34 lamb, 34 lamb, cracked corn, and
some oats.
And then they put, for the lambs, they put decox in it. It's for coccidiosis, which every farm, every place has this coccidia. So, and it's a little tiny, so the farmers, obviously, they're mixing a ton worth of food, right? So when you buy a 10-pound bag of decox, they're throwing this whole 10-pound bag in, but you only need for every 5-gallon bucket, you need a tenth. Yeah, so we had to mix it in there because every farm has coccidia, or every place, land has coccidia. Only the strong survive. He's very hands off, and I kind of like that approach. Nice. I mean, we feed hay. In the wintertime here, there's nothing for them to eat.
There's usually a couple 3 feet of snow.
Yeah. Right now we're doing pretty good. All of our snow is pretty gone. But the grass and stuff, it's completely dead, and we don't want them to eat it completely down, so that way we can mostly graze them in the summertime. But I was feeding them up until right before it got cold. I was only feeding them about 2 flakes of hay a day, and then a pound of grain, and then they were eating outside. And that was a pound of grain between all 3 of them, so it was
a third of a pound.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's times where there's gonna be a point this winter where you all right, Lowe's? You gotta go touch his nose.
Yeah.
He's doing an inward sneeze. Oh, he's all right. Yeah, if your dogs are doing inward sneezes, you just touch the sides of their nose and they'll stop. But anyways, so we're gonna get to a point to where we're gonna have a foot of snow nonstop.
Yeah.
Once we get that foot of snow, it's pretty much gonna be there for the whole
Keeps building up.
whole
till
winter, and then it's gonna
springtime.
build up and blow around and stuff. So yeah, so here we do have to, and once spring comes, then we'll be able to pasture them, and we're gonna let them out of the barn. We're gonna open the door. They just have an area. We're just not gonna be.
We'll have to go move some snow.
Yeah, we're just not gonna be moving fence because we bought the portable. I'd like to get the Gallagher fence, maybe someday, just because that's
Well,
easier.
we will when we work with Waylon. Oh, might be another video.
Lauren's glad she doesn't have to deal with that. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just that I gotta feed him just a little bit more. But like I said, we mix.
She don't like snow either.
Yeah, I do not like winter at all.
Nope.
Right now with my full-time job, I work at home, so I don't even leave the house.
Yeah.
So
She does morning chores, which is, feeding the sheep and the chickens in the morning and give her minimal water duties. And
yeah, I have to give the chicken we have 5 hens that we still need to butcher.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
I think we're just gonna put them in with the flock and butcher them in the spring and make
Might be easiest.
ground sausage out of them or something. Who
Might be
knows?
easiest, but
So
we don't have a hydrant out in our barn right now.
yeah, we have to
So,
bucket water back.
Wintertime, once the water's below, once temperature is below freezing, we just carry 5-gallon buckets full of water, or half full, or a quarter full, or
Yeah.
as you get older, a little bit less, a little bit less.
Well, and we finally, from our pastor's wife, because they have goats, and so finally, so she told us what's good buckets to have
In Iowa,
for Iowa, because there's times where it gets down to like
35, 40.
negative 30 below, and it's not consistent. It's just, there was one week a few years ago when we had that polar vortex.
Yeah.
When it was like negative 30 all week long, but
Yeah.
normally it's just for a day or two and then it goes back up to the 20s or whatever. But I mean, it's still cold. I don't like it. But Yah hasn't telling us to move because he's having us do what we're doing.
That's right.
Lauren asked, how do you do your meat grinding for the chickens? She's doing dishes. So we haven't yet, but we bought a meat grinder.
Hand crank.
Yeah, hand crank.
Just in case.
We need to learn how to do it. We'll probably buy an electric one once we get used to the hand crank one.
Yeah.
But our stance is with preparing for whatever may happen. And our biggest thing is preparing for no electricity, right? Because we had derecho, August of 2020.
No power for 8
And
days.
yeah, no power for 8 days.
Kept the freezers on and the fridge on. That's
Yep, just that.
concern.
So if time comes to where so we get ourselves used to not using power tools, and then we'll buy a power tool once we get the hang of that one for electricity. But anyways, so we bought we went to the Amish store here. We've got one about 45 an hour away, and they have some really good like chicken sausage seasoning that Steve is actually he made. He took ground lamb and ground beef and made some sausage out of the chicken sausage seasoning, and so we'll just grind it with the hand crank and see how that goes, and use that seasoning in with it. But it was pretty good. We tried using our own seasonings to make sausage, but for some reason we're not getting the mixture right. So we're cheating for right now and just using a pre-seasoned mix.
Until we find our own good recipe.
Yeah.
But we even learned how to make butter with no power.
Yep. Well, as long as you don't have a whole lot of cream. So,
Yeah, if you've got gallons and gallons of cream, that's a lot of work. But we had about 3/4 of a quart of cream.
yep. And
It's pretty easy.
I took half of that and put it in a.
That's right.
Yeah,
Whatever
of
works.
course.
That's right.
Yeah, but I had a 3/4 of a quart of cream. So we have a farm to table market once a month, and you can go online and you can buy from farmers. And there's one farmer on there that sells cream line milk. And so here in the state of Iowa, you can't sell raw milk. But anyways,
Unless you know a neighbor or have a neighbor, then
yeah,
please let us know.
yeah. But so what you can do is you can buy cream line milk that has been mildly pasteurized, not homogenized, and it'll still create cream. So we get it, and it's only like $4.25 for a half gallon, which isn't bad when you can get the cream off the milk and make butter. So I bought 6 half gallons of the cream line milk and scooped it all out of there, and got 3/4 of a quart.
Mhm. 3/4 of a quart. Say that
Of
3 times.
cream, yeah, for real. Say that 3 times fast. Yeah, I made him say Jen and Steve's Homestead Shenanigans 3 times fast the other night, and it didn't work. But 3/4 of a quart of cream, and then I took half of it and I put them in separate jars, and then let it come up to room temperature, about 60 degrees, and it was actually a little over that. And then we just shook it, and in 5 minutes we had butter. And then I separated the buttermilk out of it, and then rinsed off the butter, and did pretty good with that. Steve, if the odds allow it, I look forward to catching up with you on the campus. Rest well, everyone. Nothing. Jen and Steve's Homestead Shenanigans. 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 Did I say it 5 times fast?
Oh. Michael Manham. Campus.
Yeah, it's a sausage seasoning that we got. We bought it from.
Michael, have a good evening.
Did you hear there? I know, Lauren. But yeah, so we bought the Amish store in a town that's about an hour from us. They have sausage, chicken sausage seasoning mix that we. But yeah, so yeah. I don't know. This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I did just a little bit. I did. I lost count though. I didn't. Yeah,
I
for real.
lose.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's a lot of what we've been doing. It's been a pretty busy.
It's been a busy year. Spring was busy, getting the garden planted and everything that popped up. Found a ministry, actually through our awesome neighbor, which there might be some more stuff in store with our neighbor.
Yeah, that'll be different.
Who led us to some other friends, but we can't really, not for sure what direction that's going.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna.
Yeah. But we found some people that are very like-minded, and we're loving hanging out with them so far. So it's
thank the Father. Thank the Father. And I do have to give a big shout out to TJ Morris.
Yep.
Because
it is all honestly.
He, through his videos when COVID first hit, watched him for different reasons, but he kept praying and saying things in there that really kept putting seeds in me, and now I'm able to put seeds in other people. So praise Most High, knife hand up.
Yeah. Knife hand. Yeah, no, it's when TJ was praying over on his videos, that was when Steve was listening.
Yeah.
And shortly after Steve got the scriptures, is when he stopped praying after all of his COVID videos.
Yeah. It's
So
crazy.
Not crazy, but it was literally like
Yes.
literally.
Yes.
And so that's how we came. And so the Father literally brought us back and into the Torah.
Yes.
So
He did.
uh,
And Torah, I mean, new to Torah, yes, but been here for a couple of years, still learning. Not by no means am I, do I know everything? No. And anybody that tells you that they do, turn around, run away.
Yeah.
They read with you, study with you, absolutely. And you do have your elders that have been doing Torah for a lot longer, which we do have some elders.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the couples we met,
yes.
She's been Torah observant for 15 years,
and then her husband
about 10 or 12
years. Yeah,
shortly after her.
Yeah.
And then so we're the babies of the group.
2 years and going strong.
Yep.
Keep on learning.
Yep.
Which is awesome. It's truly amazing. But he put, the Father brought us back on this path for a reason.
Yeah.
And is it the easiest path? No. I mean, we don't do certain holidays.
Yeah, he says anymore. We're still learning.
Yes, awesome.
Yep. It's been awesome, and it's been a blessing. And it's definitely gets Steve through his days because he's pretty frustrated at where he's working, but
Father's got me there, stuck there for some reason. There's a lot of
he's actually talks to a lot of people on the job site about Steve will make a comment about something like even just so little as, "Hey Steve, you want a piece of breakfast pizza?" And he's like, "Nope, it's got sausage on it, it's got pork.
Don't eat it."
And they ask him why, and he'll tell them why.
Some people get it right away, and some people a couple of years later are like, "I just don't understand." It's like, you don't have to understand. It's like,
but he talks to somebody almost daily.
Yes.
Almost daily about they're asking questions. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. And for us, it actually has helped to watch The Chosen.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely, since they are so close to being like we're visual learners, and like we have to be we have to be around people. So we even watch like every Shabbat. We even do our Bible study with there on the TV while we're reading along, because we have to. I have to in order. Yeah, we have to like visually, like it's. Otherwise, I don't. Of course, following this way too, I do understand more than I ever have in my life.
Yes, as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Simple yet so profound. We just have to remember the strategy and tactics and how to love Yah and people.
Yes.
Absolutely. Amen.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah. And I love how The Chosen portrays Yeshua and portrays a lot of things. It helps me to visually comprehend everything. I'm a hands-on learner. So if it's just reading and trying to give me a book like a novel or whatever, and I can read that, and as long as I'm into it, I can read it, and I can probably read it in 2 days. But with the Bible, for when it's like the studying and doing all this stuff and actual like learning and everything, I have to have a hands-on way, and the best way to do that is around people.
Mm-hmm. What's neat about our journey too is like what we study with Bear. Sometimes that same Shabbat we go to worship.
Yeah.
And then it's like multiplied. It's like 2 or 3 times that day or that week.
It's
you hear
like
the same thing. It's like,
foot stomps.
okay,
Like,
listening,
okay, yep.
listening.
Yep. It's when we do our studies, and yeah, it's
Yes,
yeah. Some are just do better than others, reading and connecting dots. Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah. And I'm not, but I am a lot better
Yeah.
than what I used to be. Like, um, my dots were just kind of what I learned as a kid, you know, not
Yeah.
nothing deeper.
It's what you were taught.
Yeah.
And then when you find out things, you're like,
Yeah. And Steve's mom and dad was here. They were visiting.
oh, that was awesome.
They actually live in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And they visited for a weekend, and they went to fellowship with us.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yes.
They loved it.
Yes.
So it was awesome. So.
Yep.
And his dad
did good for dad for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So it's definitely, this walk has definitely been a bigger blessing than what I have seen any other times. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the live, I've always known that there was a God, and I've always talked to him. I just never had a relationship with him until 2 years ago. Literally about 2 years ago, because it was like 2 years ago this month you got your scriptures.
I got my scriptures and finally decided to give my soul back.
And then we got baptized June of this year. And the only reason why it was June of this year that we got baptized is because we didn't know anybody.
We were talking about baptizing each other.
Yeah, we
trying to figure out how to do that.
We live about 3 minutes from Rock Creek. It's a
small lake.
We were gonna
go up there and baptize each other.
Yeah, we were gonna baptize each other, and then we Passover is when our neighbor told us about the fellowship there. So did that, and then April. So we started going there. It was right at the beginning of May we started going to fellowship, and so a month and a half later we were baptized. Yeah. So yeah, the way the Father works out is just amazing. But this road has been way more blessed than all because we're doing as we should.
Yeah. Read the word, do what it says.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I say it's pretty easy, but there's.
I don't think it was hard at all.
No, it wasn't.
Like to quit certain things. I don't think it wasn't hard. It's all in it's all in your mind.
It's on your head. When you read it, you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah. But it was just like, okay, well, let's just, we didn't eat much pork anyway, so that was fairly easy.
She hated pork for a long time, which
I've never liked sausage.
Yeah. And then
so and all sausage is made out of pork, and so I've never been a sauce. So for me to eat like well, of course now we don't have pizza, for us, if we were to go out and go have pizza, for me to not have a pizza without sausage was nothing.
Yeah.
Because I don't like sausage. But now, like, if we go out to go eat pizza, we just get like God was just too generic for me. Yeah. Oh. For me, when I was younger, I always tried to be specific about how I addressed the Father, so I would address him as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the Bible, God of
yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that too.
Yep. Amen. Awesome. And I do. We do say, Yah and Yeshua, but
Yahweh. When we're around some people, I like when I was praying with my dad, he was like, he wasn't 100% sure, which is okay. And I'm like, I said, Yah, God, and then I said, Yeshua, Jesus, and just try and, you gotta meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
And like, I know he's Yahweh and Yeshua.
And I don't want to make people feel too. And unfortunately,
yes,
the way that we've been brought up, all the religions, when people say Yeshua and Yah, they think of Jewish, and so it makes people feel uncomfortable, which it's like shouldn't. But so I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable for, especially the way that we're going to hopefully help addicts and stuff, we might have to be more mindful about.
I'll call him by every name I know,
Yep.
and be like, whatever name you
Every
know him
name.
by.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
I think that's, had it been anybody other than Bear.
but that's why the
don't
father.
think
That's why the father
back.
would. That's why the father had him do that. And Steve
Yeah.
was following Bear just for the prepping.
I was just
stuff.
watching for the prepping videos. I was like, okay, this guy's into preparedness.
This guy's into preparedness.
Not that I'm into preparedness by any means. Am I vouching?
Actually, yes, we are,
Yeah,
because it says in the Bible to.
Yeah, if you're not prepared, you should be prepared. You should have some food, some water, some basic first aid things, some sanitation stuff. And if you don't have anything, then start somewhere. Get a day's worth, 2 days
But
worth.
yeah. But Steve started watching because it was right in the middle of the toilet paper crisis, and so and
Let's get
Yeah.
ammo.
yeah, and the place that I work at, I work there so that he could get a discount. I enjoy it though.
Yeah.
For now, I feel my heart calling that I need to do more to serve. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not. I'm feeling like a slave
Mhm.
to my 8 to 4:30
Yes.
Monday through Friday.
You're not the only one. I've been feeling that for a long
No
time.
time of day to do anything else for y'all. While and like even just to help Grindstone with their missions or whatever. There's no way that we can travel those hours to take off of work and.
If there was some that happened up north, closer,
yeah,
it'd be easier.
yeah.
But doing a 10, 12-hour drive is...
Yeah, it's like
You
so
can
we
take
just-
care of the animals during the wintertime.
Yeah, so we just donate, and I don't say we just donate as in
But we
that's
pray too.
but I mean that does a lot, So we try to do our best. But yeah, we wish that we were when you guys were in Idaho. We wish we prayed for y'all every day, and there was a part of me that wished that we could just go and help, but that wasn't. It's not our time just yet. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But if we can definitely get something going and start helping people and having our
Gotta help here.
yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it's just about time for bed. I didn't even know that we were going to be on here for this long. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Wasn't planned on it.
No. Well,
Maybe
thanks.
we should do this every
Yeah. What's a good time for
every
you?
Sunday. I don't know.
We could do Sunday
I don't know.
school with Steve and Jen.
It's
Sunday school with Steve and Jen.
Sunday school with Steve.
Don't hold me to that.
Oh, brother. Yeah, I think it's time for bed.
Yeah.
Having the opportunity to work for Refuge was huge for me for all those
Yes.
reasons you mentioned. Peterbilt kept me from volunteering to
Yeah.
work. Grindstone needs donations as much as it needs hands and feet. Yep.
Yep.
Most definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Not Sunday school with Steven. I don't.
Well, if if the Father puts it on me to, when things happen with a certain house, maybe it's built out of iron, then let her.
Huh?
Caleb house built out of iron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That might be it.
That's,
Yeah, because Steve's
if
an iron
he
worker.
puts it too heavily up there, then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to step out in faith, and maybe I just need to do it. If it wasn't wintertime, and I
Yeah.
know I could leave you here without having to worry about you.
Yeah, because I don't drive nowhere.
Yeah.
We're fine. I got plenty of food.
True.
I don't need to go anywhere, actually. I got plenty of toilet paper, too. Now.
All right, no more excuses.
But yeah, so yeah, Steve's an iron worker. So if it comes down to it, Steve's
And I do have friends down in Oklahoma.
yeah, we did. We lived down in Oklahoma from 2011 to 2014. But it just didn't work out work-wise for Steve. Yep.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Only if he says go. Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, so we'll just have to see where everything goes from here. But yeah, we definitely would like to. Anxious to see where this goes with helping anybody with addictions and
yeah. Well, we definitely have to get, like Father says, you have to get your household right before you can help others. And
well, I mean, our household.
no, our household, yeah, it is pretty good, but we do have.
I mean, the kids aren't 100% on board, but it's not that they're not 100% on board. It's they didn't grow up this way because we weren't.
That's not their fault.
Yeah, we weren't following Torah. We weren't reading our Bibles. We believed in God and all this, but
we just did not teach that to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, good night, y'all. We need to get off here too because I need to get to bed. So.
Yep.
5:30 in the morning comes early. So, shalom, y'all.
Good evening. Shalom. Have a blessed night.
Have a blessed week. Bye.